fire trucks coming. There's nothing.
We saw one.
You did?
Yeah, but it didn't have its lights on, but we saw one down there.
I'm not going down 25 stairs.
We're here at 3:30 in the morning. The fire alarm has gone off. So we get to evacuate the building from floor 20. Hey, this is Postcard Dan, and today I'm giving you a look at the Grand Hyatt Riverwalk here in San Antonio. Beautiful hotel right at the right on the edge of the Riverwalk. So you can go from here right along the river to any of the points on the Riverwalk. Check-in was super easy, and then as we finished checking in, they offered us a choice of either a couple of bottles of water or margaritas. That was a tough choice. There's their margarita dispenser right there. Definitely a pleasant welcome to San Antonio.
At the end of this review, I'll show you exactly how much I paid. And spoiler alert, the Hyatt San Antonio is one place that's not shy about tacking on junk fees. Alright, I'll begin the review in the same way that I usually do, by showing you my room.
This is room 2064 on the 20th floor. So here we have a king bed, nightstands on both sides. There are outlets there. And on this side, well, it looks like the way the clock is plugged in takes up one of the outlets, but probably don't need the clock. So there seems to be enough outlets in here. So I'm coming at you now from the edit. One thing I've noticed about these lights is that it's impossible to turn them off while you're laying in bed. You essentially have to get up out of bed in order to turn off the light. So if you're sitting here reading in the evening and you want to turn over and go to sleep, you first have to get up to turn off the lights. That seems to be a flaw. Over here in the corner is a lamp and a sitting chair and an ottoman. Here's the desk. Here's the view out the window. We're looking toward the north. So that's Interstate 35 there. Here's the television. Drawers there. Coffee service here. And ice bucket down there. And here we have a little fridge. Big enough for some bottles of water. And a room safe. Right next to the door there's a full-size mirror, basically floor to ceiling, and one of the widest mirrors I've ever seen too. And then next to that is a closet, a few hangers, maybe a half dozen, ironing board, iron, luggage stand, the usual things here. Here's the bathroom. There's a sink, area under the sink, looks like a mat for the bathtub. Toilet, shower curtain, containers on the wall, and the shower. Room 2064.
All right, let's move on and let me show you some of the amenities here at the Hyatt.
Here's the pool. Looks like the hours are from 6 a.m. till 10. Wow, what a view. This is the open air terrace on the 5th floor. Lots of tables and Brady Bunch grass. So up here there's fantastic views over the city. And down there you can see Market Street, and then the beginning of the Riverwalk, which is right here in front of the hotel. Then the Riverwalk kind of goes that way in the area that's full of trees that you see between here and that sculpture before it branches out. Super pretty. Here's the gym. There's people working out in here, so I don't want to film too much. But you can see it's a very large gym. The terrace is over there on the side. Lots of weights. Also a spin room. And then there are treadmills back over here. Again, there are people working out, so I'll respect their privacy. But you can see it's an extensive gym here.
And then the lobby and the restaurants.
So entrance is made into this beautiful lobby, 2 or 3 stories tall. On this floor, there are a couple of small restaurants. There's a lounge and a coffee shop. And then some sitting areas and the elevators. Here's the Tejas Lounge. Mostly it's an evening spot. I'm filming this in the morning so that I can get it without having a lot of people in the shots. You can see a bar and comfy places to sit and relax. Perhaps you're waiting to meet your dinner party or that kind of thing. Tejas Lounge. Here's Moda Fare. Their breakfast buffet is $36 a person. You can see the space here. Pretty large with lots of windows looking out toward the street. And there's a bar in here too. Just a buffet. So for your $36, there's eggs Benedict, there's scrambled eggs, rosemary and garlic roasted potatoes, bacon, chicken sausage, Gouda cheese grits. That sounds good. And mascarpone French toast. And then over here there's some fresh fruits, charcuterie, some yogurt in little cups. Those are cute. And then there are some croissants along with butter and cream cheese over here. So that's a look inside Moda Fare, the breakfast buffet that they have here. These escalators over here just to the left of Moda Fare provide access to the Riverwalk and also to Ruth's Chris down here. These little butterflies or birds hanging above. So down here straight ahead are the doors to get to the Riverwalk. And as I've mentioned, from here you can get to anywhere along the Riverwalk. It's a pretty short walk too, maybe 3 blocks to the heart of the action. So very well located. Here's Ruth's Chris. I'm filming this in the morning, so they're closed, but I think everybody knows the quality of Ruth's Chris. Give you a sense of the restaurant and the size down here. Looks like there's outdoor seating for Ruth's Chris as well, although we've been here 3 nights. We didn't see it in use on any of the 3 nights we were here. Even though the weather's been pretty decent, in the 80s every day, probably around 70 in the evening. Perhaps in busier times they use it. And then the third location here in the lobby area is called Spoonful Provisions. This features gift shop kind of stuff with some drinks you can grab, candies and nuts. But there's a coffee bar in here as well. And here's the coffee bar inside of Spoonful Provisions. They have some pastries too. Spoonful Provisions.
There was a little bit of excitement on one night at 3:30 in the morning.
Truck's coming, there's nothing.
We saw one.
You did?
Yeah, but it didn't have its lights on, but we saw one down there.
I'm not going down 25 stairs.
Well, this is an adventure. We're here at 3:30 in the morning. The fire alarm has gone off. So we get to evacuate the building from floor 20. We saw one fire truck arrive. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people. In fact, there were some people on the 20th floor who said that they weren't going to walk down 20 floors, but, you know, I'm already awake. There seem to be a lot of people who really aren't taking us very seriously because we ran into some people up on the 20th floor who said that they're not going to walk down 20 floors if they couldn't see a fire truck. And there doesn't seem to be anybody else in these stairs. But we're more than halfway now. Part of the adventure. So now we're somewhere around floor 5, and the stair pattern has changed. There's floor 4, it says. And I think we've made it to the bottom. Here is level 1. Looks like people are heading toward the elevators. No, people are just milling about here in the lobby. So they're saying that it was like a faulty switch or something, and we're allowed to go back up.
Now, I'm all in favor of safety, hence the reason that I evacuated in the middle of the night. But I found the Hyatt's explanation of the cause of the alarm and their shocking nonchalant response to be lacking. A real customer service miss. If someone had pulled the alarm, that wouldn't be their fault. But their explanation about some problem with the wiring or fuses or whatever means that the hotel bears some responsibility for the inconvenience. But there was no apology and no attempt to redress the situation. Heck, I would have settled for another free margarita. I really think that they dropped the ball on this one. Okay, here's a look at what I actually paid for my stay. Now, my normal preference is to report the prices on a per-night basis in order to make comparisons easier. But I'm showing the totals for the entire stay because I had a different rate on each of the 3 nights of my stay. The average per night, just for the room, came out to $207 for my stay, but that's just for the room. On top of that, there were a grundle of taxes, imposed by just about every level of government: state, county, municipal, sales taxes, and occupancy taxes. Now, the Hyatt can't do anything about the taxes, but you should know that taxes added on nearly 20% on top of the room rate. That's pretty steep, Texas, and San Antonio, and Bexar County. But then I get to the part of the bill that's even more obnoxious. The Hyatt charges a resort fee of $25 per night. They call it a destination fee, but whatever. And what did I get for this extra $25? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe the one free margarita that they handed me at check-in? And it was even worse because the sales taxes applied to the destination fee too. So that $25 per night actually ended up costing me $87 for 3 nights. Those were some pretty expensive margaritas. But the junk fees weren't done yet. There's also a parking charge, $43.50 per night. And of course, there are taxes on top of that, too. So suddenly, when I look at my bill in the aggregate, What began as a room with a reasonable cost of $600 for 3 nights ends up costing me nearly $1,000. I find that to be just outrageous. So be prepared to get socked with junk fees when you stay here. Overall, I thought that the hotel was beautiful, but I like to keep it real, so I always give you the good along with the bad. But the Grand Hyatt is a modern, clean hotel which is super well located, right next to the convention center and with a direct connection onto San Antonio's famous Riverwalk. I'd be curious to hear from you if you've stayed here too. Was your experience different than mine? Leave a note in the comments.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, won't you please consider clicking on the thumbs up so that YouTube will share it with other people who might be interested in this hotel as well. And if you like the content on my channel, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. This is Postcard Dan in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you for watching.